still by my face. Well, I'm driving to my heme-onc appointment with this UC Davis doctor. It's a new person that my regular heme-onc just wanted me to have another opinion, which will be my second time getting the opinion of another heme-onc. One of the questions I'm going to bring up is that I've had this blood in my sputum, phlegm forever. What does he think of that? Changing my the cycle that I've been on in terms of the IVIG with this 4-week schedule. Should we push it back a week? So, but the thing that I'm like a little bit excited about right now is I was listening to this Dr. Berg video, and if you don't know Dr. Berg, I talked about him before, but he is on YouTube. He's got like millions of subscribers. Really clear, straightforward, super good information. Most of his videos are pretty short, and this is about a strategy against cancer, and he gives 2 different strategies for cancer prevention and for if you have cancer, how to deal with that. And he's a keto guy, but he's a lot more than that. He's really a great source for information, and of course fasting is the #1 thing that he promotes. So yeah, basically the schedule for fasting is either an 18 and 6 or a 16 and 8. So there's 24 hours in the day. 18 and 6 is 18 hours of not eating, of fasting, and 6-hour window for eating. Or the reverse would be a 16-hour of not eating and an 8-hour window of eating. And I did that for a while, and I just stopped doing it, and it's hard. It's a bit hard. So he said if he got cancer, he would do a 4-hour window or 1 meal a day. So that's 20 hours of not eating and then 4 hours of eating, which is pretty intense, I'd say. Or 1 meal a day, and in that meal you do, how many cups did he say? Like 7 or 8 cups, no, 5, 10 cups, I think, of cruciferous vegetables, which has to be raw, because my God, that would just be way too hard to do otherwise, with broccoli sprouts. And I'm gonna link the video I watched. It's probably 10 minutes or something, but I just think he's one of the best voices out there in the health world for free. He has products and stuff like that, but he doesn't push them hard. I mean, they're just available. I take his D3 K2 combo. He also has wheatgrass and greens juice and stuff like that, but I really think that it's so worthwhile to listen to this guy. Oh, one other cool thing, he was saying cancer often develops in a place where an injury occurred before. I actually did have an injury on my breast, which sounds pretty weird, but I did, and it was right before a cancer diagnosis. I was also taking really heavy amounts of shatavari, which is an Ayurvedic Indian herb, because I was desperate for another baby at that point in my life, in 2016, 2015, 2014. That whole period of time, I wanted another baby so bad. And then I was diagnosed in 2017, and I was taking like cups of shatavari. I don't know why. I can be excessive. I was just pounding shatavari and all these sort of like very estrogenic things on top of maybe injury that I did have on my chest. So I find that interesting. I've never heard anybody talk about that. But he does say that cancer will often occur where inflammation is. And if there was an injury there, there's going to most likely be inflammation there. So highly recommend the video, highly recommend him. I get a lot of input from him, but I think I am going to try this fasting, you know, and then, okay, so you're fasting like day to day like that, and then you fast 2 days a week is what he recommends, and then 4 days a month, or even 7 days a month. Wow, that sounds like a lot, you know, it really sounds like a lot, but he also realizes not everybody has a lifestyle that could do that. That is what he would do, and I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna see what I can do, and I could probably do 1 day of fasting a week and a few days of fasting a month, and I certainly could do the 16 and 8, but I'd like to do the 18 and 6, and then try to get to the 4-hour window. I've heard him before say, when you're in that 4-hour window, you can eat, say your 4-hour window is noon to 4, you eat at noon and you eat at 4, so you're actually you're eating during that whole time. And he also talks about, this is all in that video, he also talks about low protein. There's just so much information out there, you really have to just sift through it yourself and take what works and leave the rest. And anyway, I'm stoked on doing what I can to prevent cancer. I am going to get a PET, maybe a PET CT or maybe just a PET. I am going to get that soon because I kind of want to know, especially in my chest and throat, like what is going on. I feel like I've had inflammation there for a long time. And I have some hereditary, like my mom has immune problems and has had pneumonia, and she had a chest CT and she's fine. She didn't have cancer, which is great. But, I think we might have some immune issues in our family. So anyway, okay, that's it for now. Like the crystal, I'm driving. It's kind of sketchy that I'm recording and driving, but I did it. That was pretty interesting. Meeting with that hematologist, he said a lot of the same things, of which I guess is expected, as the last UC Davis hematologist, about getting a bone marrow biopsy, and just walked up a bunch of stairs, and tapering off on the IVIG. I mean, like the goal is not to get into the normal range, but if I could be above 50 consistently, or if I could be, above 100 consistently, then that's a success. So I think I will try to taper off on the IVIG. The last time, since after about 3.5 weeks, my platelets were 129,000, which is awesome. I probably didn't need to get the IVIG so quickly. So I'll see like early January what they are. I don't know. I'm so reluctant to get the bone marrow biopsy. And he's like, gosh, you've been through so much. Why are you reluctant to do that? It's an easy procedure. And I was like, that's exactly the reason, because I've been through so much. I'm traumatized by the events that I went through. Even getting a PET scan, they'll have to put an IV contrast in me. Galadin, I always forget. Gadolinium. Oh my God. Gadolinium? I forgot. Anyway, it's that radioactive shit that they put in you. So that they can scan your body and see where the uptake goes to, the FDG uptake or whatever. But even that, I'm like, I'll need to, I don't know if I need an Ativan for that. I might be able to handle that one. But getting a brain MRI, I would definitely need an Ativan for that, because they put that cage over your head and then you go through the circular thing. So the claustrophobia is pretty intense. I don't know if I'll get a bone marrow biopsy, especially because I asked him, like, what good will that do? What are you going to find out? And anyway, I guess there's maybe some types of lymphomas and other things. And I just sometimes feel like their pet rat, like, will just be part of the statistics, do it. It was good to go to him, but we'll see if I do anything with the information that he gave me. Another thing he said that was kind of interesting was that even though in terms of blood products, IVIG is one of the safest, there are still things we don't know. Like he said, the chances of somebody getting HIV from IVIG, the chances are really low, but they're not zero. So that's kind of interesting. I know that my primary hem-onc would say that he doesn't love giving a blood product because there are inherent risks in it, like when he referred to mad cow disease and HIV, and I guess at some point those are things that could have been transferred through blood products. But getting a blood transfusion is a lot more risky than getting IVIG, because they scrub it, whatever that means. So it's good to think about that. I think that I'm going to taper off and see how long I can go and what my numbers are, and I think if they get below 50, I'll sign myself up for IVIG and maybe do it like that instead of scheduling it regularly every 4 weeks, and see. That would just be such a miracle and amazing if my body's actually producing platelets on its own at this point. But that's my plan for now.